Well, thank you for joining us. Last time we chat, only a few months have passed. We won't cover so much the same ground, but let's start off a little bit with the course out there. What sort of player do you think it's going to suit?
That's a good question. I mean, I was there about a year ago and got a preview of it, but I have a feeling that it will be set up a little different, and I'm expecting it to be a long hitters course, quite wide. The greens will be quite receptive to shorter irons. I think they're looking for a course with a lot of birdie opportunities, maybe a power course, if you know what I mean. But we will be heading out there in about a month and a half, and hopefully I will have a better indication of what we're looking for. But those are my, I'm only speculating, but that's what I'm thinking.
The USA used the pod system a couple of years ago. What are your thoughts on that sort of approach?
There's different approaches. If it works, obviously you should stick to it. So, I think the Europeans have been more of, one pod. We're like sticking together, and I think throughout the years, it's somehow the friendship and the camaraderie has always been there. And I think the one thing sometimes when you get together like this is you're trying to overdo things and complicate things. I think really the key for success is to do it simple and naturally and kind of organic. So. We don't really discuss pods. I think we're just more of trying to figure out where our strengths are and work together and have fun along the way.
We all know that you love your stats. Will you be using them, how the players play, using the statistical approach of looking at pairings?
I think when you look at pairings, it's a combination of things. I mean, there's no doubt that I will be looking at stats. I am, I love numbers. I always have been, and I think they are really the true, just facts. You can always feel one thing, but the numbers say something differently. So yeah, I'll be turning to those. But that's just one of the main ingredients. I mean, other than that, you have to look at personalities. I mean, you have to look at the way the golf course is. You have to look at the current form and then you have to go with your instinct. What does your heart tell, and you just speak to the players what they want. It's about them and how they feel, and you just got to put all of them together for the right recipe.
So you say talking to the players. If a couple of players come to you and say, "Hey, we would love to play together. We're great friends. We really think we click," will you take that on board and perhaps let them go their own way, or will you say, "Hey, I'm the captain. I choose"?
This is a team effort, absolutely. I have encouraged all the players that I've, kind of interact with the last 18 months or so, that this is a team approach, and I want your input, and the more the better. It doesn't always mean that everybody will get their wishes, because it's kind of a puzzle. But again, I want the players to feel it, I want them to see it, and I want them to do it. So absolutely.
Any plans for a training camp?
We had a training camp a few months ago in Orlando, and now when the season is underway, it seems like all the players are very spread out and have different tournament schedules, and the agendas are very different. So, but we are going to head to Des Moines in the end of May, just to get a chance to see the course a little bit closer to the event, and probably get some better feel for the conditions. And I want the vice captains to see it, and the players are coming, just to get a good feel what to be expected. And again, maybe just have another gathering. And but other than that, I'll catch up with some of the players at tournament sites. And it's the good thing for us is a lot of the players that are potential candidates, they live in Orlando. So I hook up with them regularly, whether it's at Starbucks for a cup of coffee or some lunch. So just really away from the golf environment, so we can all just relax and chill out and have some fun.
I mean, at the golf environment this week, it's actually a great tournament for you to be at. There's so many potential players here. I mean, I was just looking through the list from, Nordquist Nietzsche to Georgia Hall, Mel Reid, obviously the two Spaniards as well. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone this week that you're going to keep a closer eye at, perhaps a player that you see less of?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, the reason why I come here is I want to see players that I won't see as regularly on the LPGA. I mean, Georgia Hall is one, and Florentina Parker is another one, and Mel Reid is now playing in the U.S. So, but then also keep an eye on upcoming players. Some rookies or some talent. I mean, there's a lot of talent out here, and I want them to know that I care. I want them to get a chance to interact with me as well. It's a two-way street. So. And it's just nice to come out here. I mean, this is the tour that we represent, so why not be seen and heard here also?
Yeah, lastly, I just want to ask more specifically on Georgia Hall, because she's got quite a few points in the bank now. She's almost got 1 foot in the door, if you like. Last week, she played with Suzanne Petterson in Morocco. I know that was the first time that she met her, and she was a little bit in awe. But it was really good for her, she told me afterwards, to play alongside Suzanne and sort of felt that she belonged. I mean, it's all part of getting that feeling that you can compete in this team, isn't it? And for Georgia, I guess that's quite a big part of it.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. I was very pleased to see the pairings, because I think this is, obviously this is the beginning journey of somebody like Georgia, but then also for Suzanne, who, we can call her a veteran, and she's still, young, but she's been around, she has experience, and, it's, the more you can do that, the stronger you get, and the Solheim Cup, that's what it's all about, is playing against players maybe that you grew up watching, idolizing, and so, yeah, the more comfortable you get, and just, feeling that you belong there, and maybe my game is good enough so that, when you come to Des Moines, that you don't have those question marks thinking, what am I doing here? I know I played well but is this really my stage? So yeah, I welcome that, and I hope that we will see something similar this week, that some of the young players get a chance to play with some of the, superstars, if you want to say it that way, because it's a learning experience. It really is, and that makes me think of the times that I did it growing up, and of course you get a little extra nervous, of course your heart beats a little extra, but that's, again, you got to see if you can step up to when you need to. So that's what life is all about.